Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the THW NHL News and Rumors Rundown. My name is Jim Parsons. I'm here with the HockeyWriters.com. Saturday afternoon as I record this, big, busy schedule for tonight's NHL regular season. Lots of games going on. We're going to get to some of the news regarding those games and some other news in the NHL today on the video. Just a quick reminder, though, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at the Hockey Writer. If you want to follow the rest of the writers, you can do so there too. If you want to go to the HockeyWriters.com, you can check out all the latest news and rumors that we're talking about, including the Facebook page, facebook.com/HockeyWriters. All right, let's get into some of the big stories. Obviously, let's start with a Jack Eichel update. He's always on our minds when it comes to NHL news and rumors. The latest is that there are about 5 teams that are interested in Jack Eichel at this point, most of which, if not all of which, of the 5 teams are willing to let him do the disc surgery that he wants to get done. That doesn't mean a trade is any closer. It only means that these teams have looked at his records, are willing to do this, are okay with the idea that he won't be around for months this season. Now, as far as the teams go that are interested, it's probably going to be non-contenders, but there is a strategy at play here where some contender might say, okay, let's just trade for Jack Eichel. We know that he won't be available during the regular season. Maybe he'll be available during the playoffs, in which case his cap hit of $10 million wouldn't count against the cap if he only played in playoff games. Now, the downside of this is that obviously the Buffalo Sabres are still asking for a huge haul and that you will have to give up something on your roster to get Jack Eichel. So if you're a competitive team or a contending team, you don't want to really remove those pieces. Right now, we know Calgary, Anaheim, possibly St. Louis. Elliot Friedman says maybe the Vegas Golden Knights, especially with their injuries that are going on. We'll talk about that in a second. Could be teams that might be interested in Jack Eichel. Some signing news. Charlie McAvoy inked a big 8-year deal, $9.5 million per season. These are going to be the best years of Charlie McAvoy's career, so the Boston Bruins did pretty well here. Now, there's a lot of talk that he has not scored a ton offensively. He's not a power play guy, so maybe this is high. But no, this is one of the best two-way defensemen in the game, and it's a good deal for the Boston Bruins. Brady Kachuk also signs a 7-year deal with the Ottawa Senators. He didn't get as much money as some people thought that he might get. Basically, he wasn't holding out, but that it took so long to get this RFA deal done. The reason that it took so long was because of the escrow and the amount of money that he got during the contracts over the 7 years. Some of the biggest payments he's getting is in the middle of the term where he won't have to give so much back. So that was one of the sticking points for Brady Kachuk in this deal. Was just not having to give up so much money in escrow for the NHL. He did not get any signing bonuses, and he didn't get quite the money people thought he was going to get, but it's still a really good deal for Brady Kachuk, and now he's going to be an Ottawa Senator for the next little while. Vladimir Tirosenko is back with the St. Louis Blues, but don't let that fool you. He is still looking to be traded. The St. Louis Blues are still looking to trade him. If he has a good season, if he starts things off on a productive note, then there's really good odds that he could get moved by the NHL trade deadline. So watch for him to be a name that pops up every once in a while, especially if he starts producing. And then we'll have to see where that level is between the St. Louis Blues wanting to keep him and then shopping him at the highest value that they can if he's healthy and producing offensively. Vitali Kravtsov, now there's some stories here with him and the New York Rangers. He did not make the team out of camp. He's kind of upset about that, so he's asked for a trade. Sounds like he's refusing his AHL report duty, but he is willing to go to another AHL team if they trade for him. So it's a very interesting situation in New York. This is not what the Rangers probably would have expected. So we'll see where this all goes, but it sounds like that situation, those two, the Kravtsov and the Rangers, are headed for a divorce here. We'll keep our eyes on that one. And it's some unfortunate news for the Vegas Golden Knights. We talked about them at the Hop here, maybe being involved in Jack Eichel talks. They have been hit hard by injuries. Max Pacioretty is the latest to go down, now 6 weeks with a lower body injury. Mark Stone is still uncertain as to what's going on there, and there's a number of people on the injured reserve list for the Vegas Golden Knights. This is not good news for them. Pacioretty was going to be a huge part of their offense this year. They're already a little bit weaker at center. It's going to be tough to know where they fit in this Pacific Division if they don't get some of these injuries figured out. They're going to have to call a bunch of people from the AHL, and can they get there and fill in his offensive production by committee? We'll see where that all goes. All right, folks, we're going to keep our eyes on this. We'll have some more reports on the HockeyWriters.com and some takeaways from all the game action on Saturday night, so go check that out at the Hockey Writers. Of course, if you want to follow all the videos, you can do so on the YouTube page. There's tons of great content with a number of different teams going on. You should also check out our fantasy draft. We did one for the Hockey Raiders where 12 of us drafted in fantasy teams. It was kind of fun. It was about an hour's worth of a really good time, so check that out on the YouTube page as well. All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll talk to you soon on the Hockey Raiders.